Excel Chapter 9, pages 463 and 464. All right, that first macro went so well. Let's go do another one. All right, what's the first thing you do always before you record a macro? You click Save. Always. Okay? Again, now if everything goes all wonky on us and our macro is a complete failure, the worst thing that happens is we close this file without saving it, reopen, and try again. In the workplace, when you first start learning to do these macros, you might even want to save the file and name it like the name of the file before macro, and then put that file away, then work with the file, and that way you're sure you have a copy of it, just in case. You never know, because macros can get complicated, but not this one. We're going to do a relatively simple one, right? All right, 463, to record the transfer data macro. Click the Record Macro button on the status bar to open the Record Macro dialog box. All right, do you remember which tab that's on? Code Group, Record Macro. We're not recording yet, it's just the Record Macro dialog box. It doesn't start to record until we hit OK. Okay, so it is transfer data. Always remember there cannot be any spaces. Tab. The letter T. Control T will be the keyboard commands for this. In the real world, of course, if you were doing this, you would have to keep track of that so you'd know for sure. All right, we are going to leave Store Macro in this workbook. We're going to tab down to the description, and then you're going to read the description on the top of page 463 in step number 1. Remember, we're not recording yet, so if we make a typo, just fix it, just like you always would. All right, check your spelling real quick. And if you're good to go, we're going to click OK. And as soon as we click OK, the recorder turns on and every click of our mouse is recorded. So here we go. Ready? Taking a look at step number 2. Click OK. Click the Ticket Data Sheet tab. Click the Review tab. Click the Unprotect Sheet button in the Changes group to turn off protection. Click the Invoice Sheet tab. And then select the range F25 through J25 in the Transfer area. Step 4. Click the Home tab on the ribbon. Click the Copy button. Step 5. Click the Ticket Data Sheet tab. Click cell A1 and then press End down arrow to go to the last row with values. Click the Developer tab on the ribbon. In the Codes group, click the Use Relative References button. Relative references ensure that the invoice data being transferred is inserted in the next blank row, in this case row 6, and not always in row 5 in the ticket data worksheet. Click the down arrow key one time to move to the first blank cell in the worksheet. Step 8. On the Developer tab in the Codes group, click the Use Relative References button. That's going to turn it off. Click the Home tab on the ribbon. Step 10. In the clipboard group, click the Paste button arrow, the arrow underneath it, and then click the Values button. This option pastes the values rather than the formulas from the transfer area. Click cell A1. Click the Review tab on the ribbon. Click the Protect Sheet button in the Changes group. In the Protect Sheet dialog box, click OK. Click the Invoice Sheet tab and then click cell B3. Click the Stop Recording button on the status bar. The macro recorder turns off and the button changes to the Record Macro button. Whew, good job. Turn to page 464. To test the transfer data macro, enter the following data into the range B3 to B12, pressing the Enter key after each entry. Alright, so we're up here in B3. So the date stays the same. Alright, so the name of the person is Kate Holland. Okay, no macro recorder on, so don't even worry if you make a mistake, just fix it. Jane, Oregon, 70123. Press your Enter key. What is her phone number? 888 555 1234. It's nice of them. All right. 2 tickets. D series. Balcony, that stays the same. Parking decals 1. 40 donation. Press your Enter key to accept that last entry. Okay, ready to see if your macro works? Control T as in Tom. The transfer data macro runs and the data transfers to the ticket data worksheet. Switch to the ticket data worksheet and verify that Kate Holland's information transferred over, and it did. Now click back on your invoice worksheet and you're ready to go on to your next video.